Good morning. I may change locations of the laptop. We shall see. We shall see. Actually, I think I will. Natural light. Ooh, I like that. Much better. Anyway, good morning. I'm up here in Maine today. Day one. This is my my wife's new house that she's got up at the school that she's working at. Doing my damnedest just to stay awake right now. I'm not kidding you when I say I'm doing my damnedest. Tools. Should I say? So it's going to be a quiet start to the weekend, which I guess kind of makes sense. Sorry, itchy eye. Oh, man. Oh, man. Long day yesterday, but I'll fill everybody in when we get the show started. Okay. I'll say I do appreciate having this amount of sunlight, natural light. We're interested to see what happens in the winter. So I'm basically just putting in these little armatures, which I'm guessing was some kind of handle for something. What? Couldn't tell you. Just pressing them back in. When the model was traveling, it didn't do so good. You almost matched the backdrop today. I know. I'm blending right in. Good morning, Ray. What's going on? Okay, I got that. Oh, mercy me. That's all done. Okay. Okay, we're doing some kind of these. I'm assuming these are grenade launchers. I'll have to hit this thing with Google Translate at some point and figure it out. In the meantime, fun day coming up here. Day didn't quite go as planned. Ray, you're up here now, right? You're up in the Maine area as well, if memory serves. Hey, Nick, good morning. Kitty found a farm stand and bakery in Gorham. Going to get some coffee and donuts in a bit. Nice. Oh, it's Nick starts sanding. Oh, I'll be sanding in just a little bit. Drove through Gorham last night. GPS told me to go through. Normally, it's like fastest route, go up the main way through 95. But this time it's like, yeah, no, just go up through New Hampshire, which is great because I much prefer the drive through New Hampshire. But fuck me if it didn't add like it. There was traffic. Yeah, start sanding. Get the sanding, bitch. Okay, here we go. I'm taking off a couple parts, Nick, and I'll get the sanding in just a second. Got a teaser photo of my Fokker biplane flight video. It's exciting. Nice. Teaser photo. I'd like to take a look at that. Send that over to me, Ray. And I'll look at it in the next week or so. Oh, George, you're such a card. C6. Stickers for PetCon 2025. Get the sanding. Yeah. I am debating picking up a bunch of stickers for PatCon. Going to look into that. We're going to have polo shirts this year. Very excited about that. We're finally going to have logoed items for the first time in, oh God, many, many, many years. Think it'll be that quick? What's that? Get slaps? That's a great sticker idea. Oh, I like that too. Yeah, get the sanding. Yeah, the next time I work on a sticker for me, that's probably going to be part of the logoing, right? All right. So the unfortunate thing is on this table here. I think I cut this part off. There it is. I need to get a cutting mat, which is the one thing I don't have up here. Anyway. Sorry, but yesterday was a bit of a long day. Didn't quite go to plan. I mean, it ended well, but it didn't quite go to plan. I think I'm finally screw it. It's not in here. I'm douching it anyway. Get these things. It's almost done anyway. They never made water polo shirts. I think they're biased. I think so too. I wouldn't make a water polo shirt either. I think if you take a look at our crowd, I don't think most people would want to see us in water polo shirts. Anyway, happy Saturday, everybody. Anybody got anything special planned for the day? Okay. Work is planned. Are you, hold it, you're working today? Hey, Tom, good morning. Are you working today? Hmm. Nick, what are you guys like on call? Yes. Ugh. More stuff to throw out. Whee! Throw out in what regard? Are you guys? Oh, you guys are up in Maine throwing out more stuff. Ray, how close are you to having the unit cleaned out, the house cleaned out? No, no, I'll do an install at the boss's new house for some extra. Oh, got it. Hold it. The boss's new house. D1 and D4. So, how nice is the boss's new house? I'm kind of curious. You don't have to answer if you don't want to, but I am kind of curious. Not even the slightest. 50 plus years of stuff to go through. Trash first, and the estates. Oh, shit. Yeah. Not bringing back fond memories for my mom when she passed away. That's for damn sure. See a divorce, so not a. Ooh, he's getting a divorce, so not a new house like that. Ooh. Oops. Sorry, didn't mean to ask that one. Hey, Joe, good morning. This is graduation party today at 2. Congratulations, Joe. That's great. Graduating from where? Elementary, junior high, high, college, advanced degree. Come on, inquiring minds want to know. I'll tell you up here, it is really nice up here today. It is, this is we'll talk a little bit about this in a bit. High school, congratulations. That's awesome. Joe, what are the next steps for her? Is she off to school, military, career? C9. Bus didn't get caught at a Coldplay concert. I hope, dude. My wife filled me in a little bit on that one last night. Ooh, Ray, kind of. Ooh, really? Whoops. Hey, Peter. So I guess the wife of the guy who was caught there, I guess his wife worked at the school that my wife used to work at in Worcester. It's like, oh, Whoops. Whoops is right. Hey, guys. Did you just mention military? Yeah, why wouldn't I? Believe it or not, I might not be like, guns blazing military, but I'm not against the military. Yes, he's joining on Monday. Yeah, exactly. She says college. Nice. That's right. I'm joining on Monday. She says college. I'm standing. See, I'm still standing. I guess I could do this a little bit. I could possibly, if I hunch down a little bit, do this. This way you might be able to see a little bit more of what I'm doing. She says college. We've only got a few more weeks to go before my daughter is heading down to. Gotta get that on the calendar. Anyway, Tom, good morning. How are you? Peter, what's going on, brother? Okay, George, if you can. You thought that was funny. Coldplay concert. Check this out. Uh-oh. Did I think it was funny? No, I don't really think it was that funny. I think it was kind of stupid, but what sucks is now it doesn't look like it will rain. Okay. Were you planning on doing something that you could have gotten out of if it rained? Are you shitting me? All right. In the window. Hobby Bunker just has a few random jars of OG AK real colors left. There's no rack. They have 2 racks of third gen 550 each versus 380 at. Oh. So they don't have real colors and they're oh, that's not good. That's not fitting well at all. Peter, am I correct in assuming and their third gen paints are more expensive than I can get elsewhere? I mean, 550 for an 18 mil bottle is, I mean, what are they trying to become? Citadel? We're planning to go bike riding. That's great. So that means you guys can go bike riding. Oh, it's going to bless the rains down in Africa. Exactly. I would gladly do that. Jars of, well, it could have been OG as well because they did make changes to the paint. I don't know. I'm sure if it's a Gen 2 paint. I'm not sure if real colors are Gen 2 or if they're just repackaged them. So now we have a bit of a quorum. So yesterday, man, I banged through, got a bunch of stuff done in the morning, got everything kind of on my list checked off before I took off for Maine. And headed up, was going to go get a couple things for my wife for for her house here, and get gas, and then just blast. So my plan was to be up in Maine 3-ish, 3:30. I pull into, so I'm driving up the highway to get to Lowe's, and it's like I'm getting like a warning light. My tire's low. It's like fine. Went to Lowe's, drove fine. Got to Walmart to pick up some other knick-knacky things, and then looked at my rear tire, and it is dead flat. And Priuses, and I guess many new cars, no longer carry spares. Why would you need a spare? So can't do my own repair. Um, and because there's no spare, there's no way of lifting the car up to even pull off the wheel to see what the hell's going on. I could have gone into Walmart and picked up a patch kit, right? So I was caught up on the interesting news about the Kiss Cam bust. I just got to tell you, I find it fascinating that people are just so fascinated by that. You need a fix a flat. I can fix a flat. I mean, like I said, I could have just gone right into Walmart and picked up patch kits and everything like that. The problem is there's no way of lifting the car up. They don't have a jack for it. So no spare, no jack or any materials to lift the vehicle up. To the point where I keep a floor jack and cordless impact with me. Don't use fix a flat. Yeah, I think what I'm thinking about doing is just buying a spare, just throwing it into the car, because I don't ever want to repeat it. So what ended up happening was now I had to call AAA. Took them time, towed me a mile down the road to a tire place who said, if we don't have a replacement tire, you're going to have to leave the car here for the weekend. So now there's the mad scramble, for us to figure out, okay, so how do we do this? My younger daughter was gone for her dance, and then she's working. I'm sorry, for a concert she went to last night. My older daughter was going to a party, and my wife was out of town. So I'm like, fuck. So how do we do this? So we're doing the mad scramble right before 3 o'clock. So I went to a tire place, waiting. Just at 3 o'clock, I'm saying, hey, I'm just wondering how things are going. And they're like, it's all done. And it was just had a gash. It was fixable. So they fixed it. And I've been on the road. So what I was hoping to be up here by 3 o'clock, I left my neck of the woods at 3 and then ran into a bunch of traffic. So I didn't get up here until just a little after 7. So unfortunately, didn't get the stuff that I wanted to get done up here, but I did get at least to go out to dinner with my wife, and we had a nice quiet evening. The green patch liquid. Oh, you're talking like slime? Walmart didn't have an auto bay. No auto bay. No. And it's a super Walmart too, but no auto bay. Anyway, but the flat was fixed. It cost next to nothing, thankfully. Keeping an eye on the tire. Hopefully the repair lasts for a while, but I'm definitely thinking about getting a spare wheel, just tossing it in. My wife's the same way. She's like, my car doesn't have, and she's got like a Kia Niro, no spare. I'm not sure if that's because now everything has gone to, we've got roadside assistance. It's like, I don't give a shit about roadside assistance. You got roadside assistance only for so long. And I'm not sure that your people do patching either. AAA doesn't do patching anymore on the road. They either, swap the tire out, the wheel. Or tow you somewhere. It's like, okay. Walmart didn't have an auto bay. My wife and daughter were in the same traffic. Oh, Peter, were they going up 93? Only in a pinch, right? My car comes with a patch kit for a flat tire. Yeah, I'm not sure that mine does. Tire slime is okay. Fix a flat. It's the devil. Get a little air pump that plugs into a power port. Yeah, I had one of those too, and it failed. I got to go get one of those replaced. Let them know. Swap the tire out for free, and if you're a member of AAA free. Oh yeah, trust me, we're AAA members. That's not a problem there. AAA is great. Tom, you misspelled scooter. Oh, that was funny, Ray. And your membership here, yeah, we've been members since I think it's got to be over 20 years. Yeah, Joe, without a doubt. I mean, they've saved my ass many times, many a time. Yeah, going to Booth Bay Harbor to see her mom. Nice. More jack, plug kid, and a portable air compressor. Yeah, my air compressor broke. But I think what I am going to do is I am going to go get myself a jack and um, a new pump for this thing because it's like yeah, this is not going to happen again, dude. And the funny thing is, it's like I've actually got a tire iron and everything like that, but it's like I don't know why for some reason I thought there was at least a jack in the car, but there's not. Hey, Charles, good morning. Get back to Peter in just a second. Hi, George. Gunner, how you doing? Still working on the dendrobium, very, very slowly. I'm actually taking a break from it. Probably get back to it in the next couple of weeks. By the way, good morning and how are you? Everybody left me on this side of the road. I was going to charge me extra. It turns out motorcycles are an add-on, so they don't really mean any vehicle when you sound. Oh, interesting. Get yourself a real beer battery or brush. I just got myself I didn't get one of the hardcore ones. I just got myself like a slime one, which is fine. It worked fine for need. I don't, generally speaking, I don't think I want to do like hardcore, tools like that because I generally don't want to do that kind of repair. But yes, something would be definitely handy, and I think a tire jack is going to be certainly, or excuse me, a car jack is going to be important. So Peter, okay, so did you guys go up the New Hampshire route then? Yeah, dude. So I got into what was it? I got up to Manchester, a little slow, not horrible, but there was a lot of stop and go on Route 3. Got to Manchester, slow down. Got to Concord, stop and go, just south of Concord. Cleared up, got a little slower north, and then it's like, yeah, I've never seen traffic like that. But then again, it's a Friday on a nice weekend, so not a surprise, I guess. They have glove box size ones from Ryobi. Glove box size ones. Ooh, I like that. All right. It's not like I don't have room in the trunk. I mean, it's a Prius, but it's not that tiny. All right, let's get this one on. Show you guys what we got going on right now. Trying to get one of the things that I do appreciate about Bandai, I think that they would have given you keyed holes to align these. I'm guessing these things are grenade launchers or smoke launchers. There we go. Notice how you get the slats on the slots on the front of those things. You have to align them yourself. Whereas if this was a Bandai model, it would have had like a keyed hole. That way, that part could only go on in a certain way. One of the I guess the things I keep thinking about when working on a model is the amount of engineering thought that goes into a model. I swear one day I'm going to welcome to tourist season. Oh yeah. So one day I'm going get you a Prius model kit. I know you can work on your car. Nice. I'm not sure I necessarily want a Prius model kit. I will say the new Priuses look really, really nice, though. They look really, really nice. Here it comes with the spare. Yeah. Would you like a spare? Spare. You know, a lot of I don't care. I don't care. I don't think they actually have room for spares. Some extra wheel in the box for you. Yeah. That's all I want. Yeah, just give me a spare wheel. Toss it in the trunk. Don't care. Anyway, crazy shit. A good patch plug on my truck recently. Nice size rock puncture from all the road work. Yeah. When I asked them, so what was it? They said it's a good sized piece of metal that went in. I'm like, really? Said, yeah. I said, yeah, it's not small. Oh, okay. Oof. Only the full gasoline version had a spare. Mine has room for a spare, but they just didn't include it for the hybrid model. What's your car, Tom? Yeah, I think EVs, they're not including spares. I don't think that they have room for them because of the batteries. Only the full gasoline Prius. That's that's an interesting one. Yeah, I was looking at it too. It's like Tom has a Prius too. Like all gasoline Prius. That kind of defeats the purpose. What am I missing here? Okay. All right, we got the smoke latches in place. Santa Fe hybrid, yeah. Yeah, I don't think there's room for them. I think that's all the smoke launchers are on. No, they're not aligned. I'm not going to care right now because this model is not going to get done immediately. Though it might move up the list. The gas-powered scooter company, yeah. So if it's an electric scooter, isn't that like an e-bike? By the way, call it what it is. Call them scooters. Call them, battery-powered motorcycles. Don't call them electronic bikes. That is the stupidest thing. It's a bicycle with a motor. That's not a bicycle. Sorry, that's just me. C14, C1. He likes his SUV like he likes his chicken. Ooh, those are tiny parts. Anyway, so we got Nick who has to go to work today. That sucks. Sorry, Nick. Tom who is not doing a bike ride because there might have been rain. Peter is heading up to Maine. Ray is up in Maine. Like what? The majority of us are up in Maine today? It's kind of crazy. Every time I hear Prius, I think Ryan's Prius. Remember that ass? Oh, yeah. Oh yeah. Aren't they getting their comeuppance now? Yeah. Yep. Heading in now. Yeah. All right, Nick. Are you bailing, or are you going to be listening on the road, or what have you? But if you're bailing, let me know, and just wish you a good weekend. Can't call any bike a bike. People also should stop calling e-moped e-school. Just stupid. It's like it actually reminds me of the late '90s when everything had I, in front of it. You know, I this, I that, I pet, I watch, I. Stupid. Listening, yeah, cool. Well, hopefully you won't be there too long, Nick. Hopefully it'll be a get the stuff done. I know it's extra, and I'm sure that's kind of cool, but hopefully it'll go quickly, easily, and cash in hand. At the Coastal Botanical Gardens in Booth Bay, they have an awesome troll exhibit right now. Trolls. Why do I want to go to Booth Bay for trolls when I can look at them and watch them here? More beans. Charles, how are you, man? By the way, how's the training going? And how did your bust go? This is my favorite phrase in Japanese, which means diarrhea of the mouth. It applies so much. Yeah, we have quite a bit of that going on right now. No, I'm not going to Maine. My wife and daughter went up yesterday. I'm modeling today. Oh, you didn't go up. You're staying behind. I went to get another model kit, but nothing is giving me the wow factor right now. Tom, how big's the backlog? Charles. Should be a few hours, then done. Nice. Dying at the moment. The bust is Tuesday. Oh, it's Tuesday. Chuck. It's Tuesday. Definitely don't want to lose olive drab parts in here if I can avoid it. Finding them will not be so easy. Good model gate today. Woo-woo. I got to tell you, it's actually kind of been refreshing. I've been, I keep getting emails, from all sorts of different places about models that are being released. It's like, yeah, it's nothing really of interest, nothing really of interest. There's a couple, but nothing hardcore. I did pre-order the new Meng 172nd scale model. Say that one. Let's see what we got here. About 12 minutes. I'll have been up for 26, 25. The difference between 25 and 26 at that point, Charles, ain't a lot. Full supply run in truth. Yeah. 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 You were saying, Joe, that you're going to go up and just check out the new D-Space stuff. True. But model kits will end up in the cart. Yeah. There's not a lot of interest. Like I said, I've got one 172nd scale model that's showing up because I'm totally down with all the Meng stuff because it's just so good. In fact, I need to just finish off a couple of the other tanks that I've started, the ones from Vespid and Flyhawk, and then I'm going to try to get to one of the Mengs. It's all hallucination at this point. 342 out of 356 kits. Only 12 kits purchased this year. Only. Wow. Tom, I'm going to tell you, I think in a decade you will exceed my backlog. They have the Cerritos. I will get it. Oh, the Cerritos, yeah. I'm wondering, Joe, that's made by Polar Lights, if I'm correct. If you do pick it up, I'd love to know how you like it. That's you got me thinking about something. I might have to pick up the Cerritos, not for myself, but for my daughter. Oh, I see what's going on here. Yeah, I think I see what's going on here. No, I don't see what's going on here. I think I took part in the mic challenge unintentionally. What's the mic challenge? Another decade now. I'll probably take a miracle for me to get. All right. I'm going to ask the peanut gallery. Anybody here think that Tom will at some point exceed my backlog? Please raise their hand. I want to make it to the Rutherford. Make it like Rutherford in the show. Have a mini warp core. Nice. The no buying kits for a long time. Oh, that, yeah. I'm glad I'm at a point where it just it's something's going to have to speak to me in order for me to pick it up, and there's not a lot. Gundam wise, almost nothing really. Oops. Gundam wise, almost nothing. There are some, don't get me wrong, but not a lot. In fact, I was going to be picking up a large on P Bandai. They offered the God, what's that series? They did it with the SPT Laser too. There was a series of models that Bandai did in the late 2000s. Very mechanical, large models, and they had the Bilbine from Dunbine. It's like, oh, I'll pick that up, and then it's sold out. It's like, oh, okay, great. I guess it means I didn't need to pick it up. Great. Am I hurt my butt? No, not let's see. I found two of the planes for those Magnificent Man and their flying machine. Hopefully, I can find a couple more. Ray, sorry, I'm having a really hard time getting this thing put in here. I'm trying to figure out why it doesn't want to go in easily. Ray, does Scalemates do anything with RC models or balsa wood models? I'm just trying to figure out how this thing is supposed to fit in here. I know it's supposed to slot in, but it's not slotting in. Cool Ranch Cerritos. I just think that looks wrong. This is one of those areas where the thoughtfulness on how to put parts together isn't very strong. Got one guy, really. Only Joe thinks that Tom will exceed my backlog. Cool Ranch Cerritos. I've got third story hobbies to pick from. I don't need to buy anything. Yes, Hobby Bunker guys, if they'd be a vendor of Pac-Man, but they have a figure show in Chicago that weekend. MMSI is the same weekend? At least that's the big one. That's an interesting choice, but okay. Interesting. Peter, I appreciate you asking, though. Trying to figure out how these parts are supposed to go together. Something tells me this thing is not going to stay in unless I thin cement it. Do I want to thin cement it now? Let's see what happens when we slide it on. Yeah, that's going to have to get glued in at some point. Right. So we got the whole front area now kind of done. Oh, no, I got to get the lower skids on now. Let's take a peek here. We're going to drink a little coffee and see what the fan base has to say. Fan base, you're fans. Why? Because you got all these crowns. Not sure where that backlog you got from a member. I don't anticipate getting more than 15 kits a year after this year. Right. After your number within 10 years, I would like to get like 40 kits a year. Emma's room will just be a model storage. Yeah, exactly. And that's if you don't buy any kits in that period. So how many kits are you sitting on, G? Including everything that's been assembled, I think it's about 801 right now. Did I miss all the sanding? You did. I'm gonna get back to it though. There's sanding to do. F1. That is not the one that I want. That's not the one. Not the one. That's the one. 400 Aerocom. Oh yeah, dude, absolutely. Well, I'm home and flopping into bed. Y'all have a good weekend. Charles, you too, brother. Get some rest, all right? Get some rest, man. Hope and I hope all the best for your family. Wishing you a good weekend. Later, Chuck. Let's send Tom 400 Aerocom kits. What the fuck? What the fuck on what? Peter, are you somehow surprised? By the time to deserve all those kits. He asked for him. Can't wait to get rid of that one. Strike it from the list. Well, get us over to, damn it, won't have time. Looks like going to Nanking Hobby. Opens at 10. Nice. There's always alternatives. Joe, are you going solo? Once I get it, then it will be added to my backlog. Yes, it will. And I just realized at some point I'm going to probably have to do the same thing, which is trying to get rid of a bunch of models this way. I just can't throw them in the trash. There's a bunch of stuff there, just I have to go through. But if anybody's interested, like in old galleon ships or anything like that, like we're talking about like old Lindbergh kits and that kind of thing, let me know. Big fucking boxes too. Shit. Yeah, this Kirk collection thing is how long has it been now? I think I started picking up that collection. Was it after PatCon? It's right around PatCon last year, and I'm still looking at a wall of these boxes in my garage. We're going to Ray and Robbins. Are we going to Ray and Robbins or in a weekend anime? Neither. If you're asking me, the we, which would include me, is no. So I have anime kids. Yes. Why? Why? Yeah, Peter, I've been kind of like, especially during my college days, I collected a whole host of anime kits. A lot of Macross stuff, a lot of Gundam stuff, Lasner, Mospita, all of it. I'm not embarrassed by it or anything like that. I'm actually, in some ways, it's pretty cool because hold a second, where does that go? Just trying to figure out how these parts come on. I think it's like that. It kind of strikes me as odd, but okay. Yeah, I was big time into collecting. Built a few through college, but yeah, did a lot of that because it was because once you found them, that was it. And at that time there was so little of that stuff, and have been really hard into anime for so long. But like the stuff from Orgus and everything like that, the Mospita hard suits, the ride armors. Oh my God, those things are gorgeous. I've actually been thinking about one of the large scale projects I want to do. I want to significantly modify one of the Mospita suits. That's going to take some effort. These will buy in threes. Raffle prizes at PatCon is all I'm hearing. In a way, there will be boxes for that. Yeah. I'm coming over to scavenge. Then just before PatCon, you want to scavenge the collection? Hmm. Hmm. If the kids want to come, they can, but they will sleep at 10 o'clock. They're going to be asleep. I only buy in threes when I have a project in mind. I joined in October, and that's when you first announced the collection. It's nothing to be embarrassed about. It's just an impressive number. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. I think, Peter, and I appreciate that. Yeah, I'm not embarrassed by it at all. And in fact, I know that you're not thinking that I should be or anything. In some ways, it's kept me into I look at it from a very positive perspective because so much of that stuff now, at least stateside, is not easily findable. Now, we've been fortunate that guys like, and I'm not saying this from a collector's perspective. I don't give a shit about that at all. I think it's been pretty awesome that um, Wise Guy Hobbies and a couple of other people managed to get their hands on this massive collection of old models. And I've been picking some stuff up that way too. I found a couple of was it ValleyCon last year, the year before? I picked up a couple of Macross, some of the Zentradi ships. Which I may actually, I'll talk about that in a second. So I found something like that, some of the Dorvac stuff. That's all recent stuff from places um, Wise Guys. In fact, Misa Hayase, the figure that I've been working on, was a recent acquisition of an old kit. Yeah, I mean, if anybody wants to see the list is online. I'm not saying it from any hubris perspective, but if anybody wanted to see kind of what's out there, because I've got photos of the box art and everything, you can see kind of what's there. It also lists what's been assembled to date and what's been and fully completed as well. And again, it's not a hubris thing. Oof, that's pretty bad. Skids. Interesting way that they did those skids. Those are two parts coming together in the middle, which you're going to have to glue in order to make something happen. But there is a massive, sorry, I'm going to take this one off. There's a massive injection pin point. And get a live peek at the 801 kit backlog. Ooh, that one might be hard. Only because it's like scattered in a storage area, but yeah. Now a lot of that stuff I'm also boxing up, Tom. I'm kind of just for ease of potential transportation or anything like that. Just knowing the location of that stuff. I've been kind of doing a lot more grooming of the collection that way, just kind of so if anything should happen to me, my kids can do what needs to get done to get rid of the stuff. He's going to follow you around, ringing a bell, saying, shame, shame. Yeah, exactly. That would be funny. Shame. Shame. I will say the one good thing about boxing it and not having it in front of you is if you're looking for something, okay, so what do I want to work on next? I'm not looking like at boxes of bottles because it's like, oh, this one's pretty cool. Then you pick up another one, you pick up a fifth one, and a 10th one, and it's like, okay, I got to stop this. And then you walk away. I can become a little bit more selective about what I want to work on next because I'm not looking at the boxes and the distraction from that. I can just go to a list and just say, okay, I want to work on something Macross. And I can I can target from the list that way. Basically, it's a tour of the house. Could be. You take a break for lunch if there's any. Come on. Very spindly things here. There we go. I just want to get rid of this injection pin mark. So this one's much, much smaller. In the office now, trying to add rope around the sail now. Nice. How's that going, Joe? I know you've been working on that for a little bit. There we go. Only one kid completed in the past decade. Sure, yeah. No. This year I've already gotten, if I can get, you know, three or four fully completed in a year right now, that'd be great. When I get to retirement, I want to do kind of like what Pip does. I want to do, or John Walker, two guys from our club. John does, I think this is it. I mean, he does three or four models a month. It does a nice job of finishing them. I'd never king shame George. You can try. Here's my daughter's room. Her bed is made up of Macross kits. Yeah. Oh, man. Yeah, it's interesting. The historical side of things, I will still collect a bunch of that stuff. Like if I see something, because I picked up two of the Southern Cross kits recently. In the last couple of years. One with Mike when we were down in Connecticut because he had one. There was one down there, and it was not. It was I don't know, 40, $50 or whatever. It's a little bit stiff, but it's like this is one of the LNS ones. It's like, okay, that one kind of needs to be in the collection. So, and then I'm missing one, and I will pick it up at some point. But at the same time, because it is probably the rarest of the bunch, it's like, I don't know, going for anywhere between 100 and 150. It's like, when Mr. Hobby was doing models way back in the day, they they produced a whole lot of the Lupin III models for Castle of Cagliostro. I want the Mini Cooper. I think it's a Mini Cooper, or is it a little Fiat? I can't recall which one it is, with Lupin and Jigen on it. I'd love to get that, but that one's also like right now going for about 150. And it's like it's just not worth it. Not worth it for something that I'm going to toss into the backlog immediately. Don't break the rule. That's number one. No king shaming. Number two, we don't talk about Fight Club. Safety first, exactly. It is a Fiat, yeah. I couldn't recall if it was a Fiat. They both look kind of the same. To break from making the sail, to paint the boat more. This sail is a labor of love. I hear you on that one. Yeah. And they made like a variety of them. They have one with, I think they had like 3 or 4 versions of it, the same Fiat, but there were different figures that went with it. So you could create different scenes for the movie. Anybody here not seen Castle of Cagliostro? It's the last film that Isao Takahata and Hayao Miyazaki did before they started Ghibli. They don't get any cheaper. I know. But one thing that they might be is, can I wait until 2029? Plan is still to go to Japan in 2029. And if I go, I'll just hit up a shop there and probably not have to pay for, hey, look, some American wants to pay $150 for this. Maybe I can pay less. Yeah, it's an amazing film. It really is. It's a fabulous film. If you have not seen it, you should absolutely make time to see that film. If memory serves, I think it's one of the films, Spielberg has talked a little bit about Hayao Miyazaki and his influence on his filmmaking. You have not seen it? Oh, God. Tom, absolutely go see it. Rent it, buy it, BitTorrent it. I don't care how you do it. Just find a way to watch it. It is a fabulous film. Okay. Let me see. No, what's these? Oh, A. Kind of running out of runners here. Wasn't the last unicorn made with the people who started Ghibli? I have no idea. Fragile. Everything is falling off. Never even heard of it. Wow. So, Nick, I would recommend you, if you have an opportunity, to watch it. So, I mean, obviously, people are familiar with Hayao Miyazaki, with Spirited Away and, My Neighbor Totoro and all of that stuff. But the early films, he also did a series. They both did a series, a TV series, which is, I believe, is now coming on Blu-ray. Highly recommended. Conan Boy of the Future. Fabulous show, and the kids would love it. There's only one thing about it that's odd is one of the kids smokes in it, but then again, the series was made in the 70s. I need to get paint though. Paint for what? My wife and daughter saw it on the theater a while back, but I've never seen it. Wow. I need to make my Katie watch Wizards too. Funny enough, I don't know. Have I ever seen Wizards? I can't recall if I've seen Wizards or not. Cannot recall. All right, let's get the armature here. E4. So we're now doing I believe this is the rear armature. For the wheels in the back, they kind of allow it to, when it's parked, basically they go down. I believe that's what these are. My kid's bid, but also just for my models. In fact, it's been so long. Okay, so some people may have seen Castle of Cagliostro, parts of it. If you're old enough and you remember the day of the Laserdisc video games, so back in the early mid 1980s, like Dragon's Lair, everything was done on a Laserdisc, right? You followed a path, and if you move through, it would literally jump. There's a big Laserdisc inside, and it would kind of jump across. And if you did something wrong, it would jump to a track where you blew up or something happened, right? Only has Tamiya AK testers and refill. AK is a good one. Is it farther than Harbor Freight? Someone needs to just send me a list of all these movies I should see. Yeah, we should. I think I might actually work on that for you, Nick. It might take me a little bit of time, but I'll work on a few things for you. It was 3D. And even the OG I Love Lucy and Philip Morris commercial for smokes. Heading down to the Somali. Have a great weekend. Peter, you too, brother. Enjoy, and we'll touch base soon. Hey, I caught a stream for once. What's going on, Robert? Good morning. Anyway, so they actually did a Lupin III version of that, and they combined, oh God, what was it? What was it? Momo's Revenge? I can't remember the first film that was done. That was not done by Ghibli, and I'm sorry, not done by Hayao Miyazaki and Sao Takahata. And then they also combined the opening sequence for Castle of Cagliostro. And that opening sequence with them escaping from the casino and the car chase and everything like that is pretty famous in anime terms. I spent Dragon's Lair and Space Ace. Space Ace! God, Space Ace. Well, if you remember Dragon's Lair, they had a Lupin the Third version of that too. That same kind of game structure. God, now I'm going back into the mental archives. I knew someone that had it. 3D is the 3DO is the company that made those discs. Really? 3DO. Wow. Yeah. I remember, I think you can actually get the files for that now. I could be wrong about that, but something tells me, I think I remember some of that as well. But my memory's a little rough on that front. G1. The more we talk about stuff like that, I guess in some ways I'm starting to make myself feel old. Last time my wife and I were at a restaurant, and I'm like, I know, I'm starting to sound like a grumpy old guy. Like THC drinks, just I don't get it. You go to a bar, I don't know, beer. I don't guess kind of simple. I feel like what's up with these kids? It's kind of like my first reaction, right? And I know if it's my own cross to bear. Ultimately, do what you want, but it's kind of like how I feel. But it's also the same thing, kind of like with anime. It's like I don't understand this new anime shit. What the hell is it you kids are watching today? Go watch yourself some Dunbine. Go watch yourself some Orcus. Go watch yourself some Macross, for fuck's sake. Fucking kids. I had a PatCon question bouncing around my head earlier this week, but been too busy to message you. Work has been killer lately. Robert, I'm sorry to hear that. Hopefully things will start to lighten up a little bit work-wise. And hope all is well with your family too. But ask away, ask away. I remember when a bowl of soup was a nickel. Angrily shakes his cane. You kids. Man, I feel the same way. I am old now. You are. I love when babies say that they're old. Tight fit. Pop out. But but to be honest, this is my happy place. I would rather build a Venus Wars monobike. I would rather build a Gundam. I would rather build a something from something that meant something to me when I was younger. I've got the an example. I've got one of these days I'll start it. Probably not too far down the road, but I've got the power loader from the Aliens movie with Ripley. It is a Max Factory kit, which is one of the reasons why I haven't. I fucking hate Max Factory. But I've been kind of jonesing to build that thing a little bit. I just found the sale of this player on Facebook Marketplace for $2,000. Oof. That's a lot. I broke out my Laserdisc player. I connected it to my my AV system. Have I connected it to play a video yet? No. Have I? I gotta double check on that. What's your take on bringing a model you brought last year but modified further for competition? That's a really good question. Let me think about the answer to that. I want to give a thoughtful answer, not a snap answer. I've been practicing to be a dirty old man for years. I'm not trying to be a dirty old man. I'm working to being a crusty old bastard old man. I brought my 00 Command Quad Heavy Arms kit bash last year, but I've since then further kit bashed it with Gundam 7th FA. Max Factory kits help display you superior modeling skills. Yeah, and you need them. I just submitted for display, but I thought it was an interesting question. It is an interesting question, actually, Robert. So, Robert, I'm going to give you an interesting tangential question, response. Guys, bear me out on this one, okay? So, a number of years ago, when my daughter was doing dance competitions, up until recently, but I don't. I think this girl graduated a year or two before my daughter did. So up until about a year or two, we'd seen her over the years come to dance competitions that my daughter was at. It was at a different studio. I think she might have been out in New York or New Jersey, and she and I'm going to hold off on the thought the post thought because there's something beyond this. I want to make sure I don't misinterpret, but she came and did a fabulous tap dance, absolutely fabulous, and normally would end up winning. Either she would win definitely best in tap category, or she would win in best overall. And she did that the same dance for 2 or 3 years and did the same thing. Tweaked it out a little bit, but she would always bring the same dance to the show. And it was discovered later, and this is the part I want to make sure I'm not trying to equate the two, but the one thing that we discovered was she had some personal issues in which she needed to be competitive. This was her outlet. Dance was her outlet, and in order for her to kind of get through, she just needed to perfect the dance that she was always working on. Her last year, she lost, and it caused her to spiral. Now, this is where again I'm saying this part of the conversation deviates. I'm not trying to say what she's doing is what you're doing, but I thought what was fascinating was that in her place, she felt it was more important to continue to improve upon something rather than for her makeup, but rather than do something new. Okay, I understand her specific things here. When you mentioned this is like the first thing that came to mind. Now, I'm not saying that this is you, but I'm just saying my thought was always because I've been going to dance competitions now for the better part of a decade. Um, I always feel like at some point you have to kind of put aside, even if you make an adjustment to something, that project is done. Time to move on. Another example is filmmakers. This is the reason why I have no respect, zero, for guys like George Lucas, because George Lucas is like, oh, I did this film. Oh, now I'm going to do a special edition and make an adjustment. Oh, and then by the time it comes to Blu-ray, I'm going to make some additional changes to it. Leave the fucking projects alone. When a film is done, when a piece of art is done, move on to something else. So that's George's gut piece. From a rules perspective, if your model did not win, you can resubmit. So hopefully that kind of answers the question. Let's see. I might just submit it for display, but I get it. Yeah. So, and please understand, Robert, I'm not trying to equate you and this dancer. This is not what I'm trying to say. But when you brought up that analogy, for me, it always comes back to George Lucas and this dancer. It's like at some point you just got to let these projects go and move on, personally speaking. But from a rules perspective, you can bring it, and that's fine. B2. So, excuse me. That's a good question, though. That is a good question. The only time you cannot bring a model to a show is if it won. If it won an award. In fact, some competitions, if it won an award in your region, it cannot compete at that show. So if you got a first place at PatCon, you theoretically could not bring it to, I think, no, it's not in the same region. You could not bring it to MosquitoCon. Which I find kind of odd. Like that's the one. It's like, well, you won at the local show. Why can't you bring it to other local shows? But I can't resubmit my movie. He's glued into an airplane now. Yeah, that's a bummer. I'll definitely hear you talking philosophical. I generally consider projects just done at a point, but this was a weird one. Yeah. Hey, here's the thing, Robert. If you feel like you want to bring it, I'm not going to say no. There's nothing in the rules that say otherwise. And since I'm going to probably be one of the judges for it, I don't mind. You've ruined my life. My brother's always going on as an artist. Yeah, I know. In many ways, the question, taking it one step further, it's to me, it's kind of like when people build like the same subject over and over and over again. I mean, don't you get kind of bored? Like, how many Spitfires can you do? How many Zaku onlys can you do? It's like, don't you want to try something different? At least with Gundam, you can try different techniques. Let's see. Some people on IG did a community build for the Double Quantum Command Quantum, but I didn't have time to build a new one. So I kept that shit and completely replaced the backpack. Okay. I do think those types of people, like George Lucas, are intellectually different. They're at the times that say everything is a work in progress. Tom, I think that's a cop out. That would be like Leonardo da Vinci saying, yeah, it's continuing through his life to touch up the Mona Lisa. No, at some point, a project is a project, it has to get completed, and you're moving on to something else. If you're working on a project, it's done, do something else, do a few more things, and then come back to the first project and touch it up. Oh, I'm going to just tweak it out, then come back to it a few years later. No, sorry. I disagree with that. A project needs to be done. Now, as the artist, it's your choice. You can do whatever you want. But personally speaking, I think it's a cop out. And this is not a Robert thing. I understand Robert, he wants this is a competition thing, but competition specific question. Display, but more sparked a really interesting philosophical question. I knew you'd appreciate the idea. I do, and absolutely. First of all, bring it to the display only table. I'm going to probably bring. I will definitely bring the bat plane, and it's going on the display only table. Guys, I don't care about competitions. I'm kind of done with them. I like to show my stuff and love to have conversations with people, but first, second, third, bronze, silver, couldn't care less. Will I take somebody over, or if somebody has any questions about how I did something or wants to critique it, gladly. I have no problem, and I'd appreciate criticism. I always appreciate thoughtful analysis of what I've done. Let's see. Beep, 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 beep. Unless we can open up the wrong way back on. I can put on a show with the RC tank people. You want to do that? Go for it. Great. If you want to bring, I don't have a problem with that. The only thing we want to make sure is that monstrosity of a tank doesn't end up taking up like, a third of a table like it did last year. Ugh. So I get one at MosquitoCon. I can put it back in competition at PACCon. Yeah, I'm not sure that our rules, I don't recall exactly, and I'll be the first to admit, I don't know our rules deeply because I'm only helping out the PACCon committee, but I'm not running the PAC. I guess I kind of am one of the people, but I'm not running it. Oh, he's on a rant now. When am I not at some point on a rant, Nick? Come on. I'm going to buckle down and see if I can finish my MGXia before back on, but not sure if I'll be able to. I'm definitely bringing the Shinmusha. Excellent. Can't wait to see it. It has some flaws, but I'm happy at how it came out. And you know what? And that's the thing. I think we have to just continue to remember to be in glory of the things that we've accomplished. Look, I'm bringing my bat plane. Is it perfect? Oh God, no. The background painting, if I had to redo it, I would have definitely done some things differently or better on the background with particularly with the bat light, the bat signal. Would I've tried to get some of the what they call it's on the plane, the support lines? Yeah, maybe, but it's done. I'm moving on to something else now. There is an artist my wife worked with that has made multiple versions over 30 years of a project. If that's something that excites you, great. I share being. Whoops. Let's see. I'm getting pinged. Who am I getting pinged by? I got pinged by Joe. Let's see. Hey, Clint. Good morning. Be my first competition. I had a benefit of bringing the best of 3 years of work. If I can't finish X year this year, I don't know. Maybe I'll volunteer to help you judge. That'd be great. I'd love to have additional people judging. Judging is, I can't stress enough. The importance of judging is not the criticizing people, but it's the ability to see their art up close and in person and being able to learn from it. I want to make the road brand play that Joker's theme coming after Batman. Go for it, Joe. I'm on that front. And Robert, pat on the back for yourself. Your work has been great. Blaine. Morning, George. Morning, everyone. Clint. But you're the president. Yeah. This isn't the basement. No. This is my wife's new place up here in Maine. Still is Jorgito, Juanito. What's going on, Juan? The Fokker was the most famous one, but he flew plenty of different aircraft. That's a great perspective on judging. I also think it's important to give back to the community. I agree completely with you on that. That's the reason why I also do it too. I also feel like, no offense to other judges, I think my approach to it is also a little different in that I want to make sure that I also talk with people afterward. It's like, hey, do you have questions about how your model went? Because I think the engagement does two things. One, it allows people to understand where they came in, where things hit and where they didn't. And it also shows that the group is a friendly group. I'm trying to put a positive face on what we do and hoping to increase our membership and get more people who are into the hobby to feel comfortable with the hobby and with people who are hobbyists. Oh, okay. The bear wall scared me. Yeah. No, we're up in, my wife just moved to a new house here in Bethel. So I'm up here this weekend kind of making all that happen. Ooh, I'm good, and you? No major complaints. A lot of small ones, but I'm the major ones right now. I'm trying not to think about work, which is why things are good. Yes, the tri-plane. Maybe his wife will let him put up some posters. Yeah, let's see what the future holds before we go that way. Robert, yeah. Yeah. Later, fellas, time to work. Alrighty, Nick. Good luck today, brother. May it all go very quickly, smoothly, painlessly, and you collect some cash on the barrelhead. All right. We are going to add this one. Show you what we got going on here in just a second. Yeah, there we go. So that wheel right there, the one that I just put on right there, it actually drops down, I believe, only for when it's parked, if memory serves. The movie's not that great, but the bike is fabulous. The mech on this is fabulous. They're living apart. It's all part of the gossip. That's right. I joke about it, but given what just was in the news, I don't want to joke about it. There's a guy who submitted last year a pack-on that is working on an absolutely insane GBWC piece this year. Yeah. Last year a pack-on. Really? Who is that, Robert? You moving to Maine? No, my wife has moved to Maine. She moved up here last year for a job, and she's now going through her second year. So I come up here and visit. She comes down, so we kind of ping pong back and forth. Would I like to move up here? There are days when I just want to get out of where I am, be retired. When I move up here, I love Maine. Maine's beautiful. Hope it rings it. I desperately want to see it in person. Really? Is that from Venus Wars? It is. Yeah, it's the yeah, it's the fighting Monobite. The Hound. But just such a great design. And as I keep forgetting, it was designed by Ko Yokoyama. So, for anybody who's aware of Machining Krieger, he's the guy who designed it. Hey, Dwayne, good morning. What's going on, brother? Okay, it makes sense. No. Move to PR, man, is boring. So, Juan, I like boring. The older I get, the more boring I want it to be. I want space. I want quiet. I'm becoming the crusty old man that I never thought I'd become. I love it. Having said that, I'd love to come down to Puerto Rico. Love to, love to, love to. Utah and Builder Pan. Okay, Builder Pan. Oh, ooh, ooh. What did he do last year? And I'll be the first to admit, it's rare that I remember a lot of the models that I judge, even really good ones. He got third place in USWC last year. Really, barely awake. I hear you on that one. Barely awake. I think he'll take first this year. Ooh, really? Gonna shovel more in the winter. I don't know. I'm getting to the age now where, you know what? Once I get to retirement, it's like, you know what? I'm paying somebody to do it. I'm not doing it. No fucking way. A little bit of shoveling, yes. A lot of shoveling, no fucking way. And then one of his was the baby in the suit build. I don't know if I remember that one or not. And the Rumble diorama with the Zaku head. Okay, that one I think I do remember. Like I said, so one of the things that always screams out to me, and I've talked about this, there is judging from the perspective of how well is your model done, right? And then there's the models that are like, wow, that's a standout either from how well it's built to its creativity. And I've seen models that are not well made or not as well made, maybe don't get that top mark. And it's like, I love the way your concept on this thing, your execution could do a little bit better, but the what you've done here is a fabulous bit of storytelling. And that's the thing that stands out. I keep thinking about people like Peter and his scratch built and kit bashing stuff. That always stands out. Last year, Kelsey and her fabulous painting work on her miniatures. From the Gundam perspective, what's his name? Oh, God. Richard's little camphor with the little detail work that he added to it, stuff like that. Hey, Edwin, good evening. I think I have more minis and statues to bring than Gunpla. Even better. I love it. See, that's the kind of stuff I think we need to see more of. And this is the one thing about this hobby. You don't have to be focused on only one thing. Let's try this, let's try that, let's try the other. Camphor was amazing. Yeah. Yeah. And it was judged by people who didn't know what the fuck they were looking at. Did I say that out loud? Yeah, I did. Yeah, I did. Yes, I did. I don't like to, being the head of a club, it's hard to diss another club, but I will tell you, there are a couple of them that I'm just like, yeah, I don't know. I just don't think your judging is really, at least in categories that you're not familiar with, is up to snuff. Just gonna call it. Sorry. One of the things I loved about MosquitoCon, granted that Danny asked me to help, but Danny was the guy who was judging at MosquitoCon last year, right? So this guy knows what he's looking at. The guys who did judging at the show that Richard and I were at, and Robert was at. Yeah, no offense. I don't think they knew what they were looking at. Is are way higher than a bronze. I was honestly mad on his behalf for that. Oh yeah, listen, stop with this negativity. Say Crescio man, what you should say. Wise Hobbit. Wise Hobbit. Nice. You need to have some level of expertise in a subject. I think it's a combination of two things. I was fortunate enough to be trained by, I shadowed. I talk about him all the time. Mac Johnston up in New Hampshire. You know, he is a fabulous modeler, cars, and I think he does cars and planes and armor. And I shadowed him on a bunch of things that he did when he was judging, and I learned a lot of stuff from how he judges. And I then took that and applied that to Gundam. And in fact, he was one of the co-judges in Gundam one time, because I knew the subject, but he knew models a little bit better, or judging criteria for models, and that was a good combination. You know, but he's great because the guys at Granite State, up in New Hampshire, they're the ones who are like, we don't know how to judge this. Find people who can judge this category. So they're not saying we'll judge it as guys with no expertise. We will judge it as people who we'll look for people who can judge the category. And if they're not familiar enough with the judging rules, fine, we'll shadow them. That, to me, is a smart way of dealing with newer categories. So kudos to the guys up in at Granite State. And I don't want to denigrate a sister club, so I won't say who the other club was. But I think this year I'm actually not going to be going to their show, just because it's like the last couple of years, it's like, yeah, I just really wasn't all that impressed. The favorite part about going to that show, that one that I was not impressed with, was literally one of my friends, Tom Flaherty, and we literally took like half-hour lunch and just walked around the parking lot for about half an hour. It was a beautiful day. It was great. We just caught up. Anyway, so we got a few more people here. Anybody got anything special going on today? Anybody doing anything fun and cool? Joe is going to his second favorite shop in his area in Michigan. I got a great deal on an MG Hyakushiki there too. Yeah, working 11 hours count. Ugh, you're going to be working today, Robert? Oh, fuck. Hey, by the way, Robert, in case you're interested, and Joe was saying this yesterday. I'm not sure if any of the Michaels around us have Gundam, but I guess they're having a 50% sale. So you can get yourself like an MG new Verka for like $60. I guess that's good. Yeah, it doesn't have any. I don't do master grades in general, and I certainly don't need another. I do have, how many Verkas? I think I've got one more Verka left. I got a few master grades in the collection. I do have the Psycho Zaku, which one of these days I will start. Who's having a 50% off? I think Michael's. I love 50% off anything. I like 50% off anything as long as it's good. You know, 50% off of I don't know. Can't think of something right now, but there's certain things like, yeah, 50% off no, I guess maybe you're right. 50% off anything is good. Found a mantis on the car. Hold it. A mantis on the car. Caught the mantis, released the mantis. Really? Oh, Edwin, I love prime mantises. I could just stare at them for hours. They're beautiful, beautiful creatures. Yeah, we need the $65 with tax for an MG Newbear guy. Exactly. You're in the prison cell from THX11. Peter? Am I the Donald Pleasance character? Hey, Manny, good morning. I love it. That's a great reference. Now I'm looking at myself. I'm like, I guess if I shaved all this off, I would look like I'm from THX1138. Shit. That's not a good thing. All right, we're now doing seat assembly. F2, F7, F8. What's going on, Manny? How are things? Manny, forgive me if I'm not understanding the full order. You went for an exam last week, correct? I'm assuming nothing has been finalized with that yet. Is that correct? For promotion to supervisor? Undergating. Now you're undergating. I think a bunch of people probably bailed and they're like, what's going on at Michael's? Where's the nearest Michael's? Do they have this thing in stock? My drug screening Wednesday. Supervisor class starts on the 20th. Oh, it's coming right up. Oh, yeah. That's awesome, man. Hey, Manny, I'm praying for you. All the best for that, brother. Just a second, my friends. If I slap this on, oh God, no. That's right. Every time I use a file now, I always think of Brian Denklow. Every time. Years ago, when I was just using, I had files, but I was primarily using sandpaper, sanding sticks, that kind of thing. Brian would come in and say, why don't you just try using a file? This is on I did a show with him, I think it was on Mechanism. He recommended using like a file. I'm like, I don't know, it just feels like, you just get more finer. It's just, if you know how to use a file, you can get really good stuff done with it and not do damage to the plastic. And it took me a couple of years, and now it's like, I use a lot of sanding sticks, don't get me wrong, but I'm also finding myself using files a lot more. And I am appreciating the finish with them a lot more. Once again, Georgia, sit back in my yard. Nature is in full bloom over here. Deers, turkeys, blue jays, pandas, camel, crickets, everything. Favorite jumping spiders. Favorite. You can keep them. Another cool thing this week: panic buying STL files for Warhammer helmet, pew pew, and chains. Why panic buying? I use a glass file. How are metal files? Metal files are fine. I've been finding myself using a lot more of these smaller diamond files. Fine. I've got a bastard file that I use as well quite often. Now, don't get me wrong. I mean, sanding sticks and not these things. These things suck ass. Despay sanding sponges are the worst. But a lot of these things, yeah, they're all tools. And that's the thing. They're all tools. Glass files are great. I'm not looking for mirror finishes on my stuff because most of the stuff is going to probably get, weathered. So I don't really care if there's a little bit of scratches on stuff. Primer will cover most of it, and the rest of it will just look okay with some weathering. Manny! Thanks! Files are awesome. Snipping up. 3 passes with a diamond file done. Yeah, basically. Yeah, because I'll sit here and try to remove this nub like I'm doing now with this sanding stick. I'll come in here and with, some of these, like I got a little pack of these things. Pull out one of the curved ones. And a couple quick passes, and nub is gone. Now, is it as clean as with a glass file? I don't know. Do I care? No. No. Hi, buddy. I haven't spoken to you in a minute. Has it been a minute? Has it been 2? I'm going to find out about you digs. Hey, Manny and Clint, question for you guys, personal question. How far are you from each other? And I know that in New York, 10 miles can be 2 hours. It's kind of like LA. The creator got cease and desist from Games Workshop, and now I know why. Games Workshop are selling Warhammer helmet through licensing through Joy Toy. I'm assuming Joy Toy is going to be the official STL file releaser. C1 removals and injection mold point removals are painful. I would say about an hour. Depends on traffic. Yeah. Walking pretty far, about an hour or so via NYC trains. Okay. And how many miles? I'm actually kind of curious as to how that compares and also in terms of miles. Anyway, just curious, like I said, guys. Interesting. What time is it? All right. I'm going to be on for about another 10 minutes, and then I'm going to head downstairs, go hang out with the wife, get some stuff started, getting this place organized. 500 miles. It could be, right? 10 miles an hour is usually traffic. Ooh. Yeah, New York Transit, Clint's still in Jersey, and I would walk 500 more. Love it. I think GW is overpriced, but I think they are still within their rights to protect their IP. Yeah, I'm not going to disagree. About 50 miles. Yeah, ton different places, place similar area. Yeah. NJ. Here's the more important question, Clint. Did you move further away or closer to Gundam Planet? All right, I'm gonna get this seat put together. I think I am hearing my wife awake now, which is great. We'll get to start our day. Go have some fun. Fun in the sun. Joy Toy is going to sell a prop helmet. You just need to buy and wear. Games Workshop will never sell a seal. Okay. Wild. A prop helmet? And that's why they're shutting down all STL files? That's kind of weird. Yeah. Never say never on the STL side of things. I think at some point, kind of like what we did with music, there will be DRM files that you're going to have to, deal with, but they'll find a way of doing it. Make sure I'm doing this right. I'm going to get one shot at this. We'll open this up. Oh shit, that's right. Oh yeah, Jersey though, close. It's like different guy to New York. Oh, I know. Further away, but closer to my mom. Oh, that's good, which is priority. GP is still about 30 minutes. Okay, that's good. Closer to your mom. That's awesome, man. Well, I'm guessing in some ways that worked out well for you, right, Clint? Takes the same time to get to into the city from my old place in Queens. Wow. And now you have all this room. We almost went to Gun Planet a couple of weeks ago. Someday I'll make the pilgrimage. Yeah, it's definitely a worthy pilgrimage. It is definitely worthy. Okay. Is there a headrest on this thing? Hello? Something tells me this backing is not sitting in here nearly as well as I'd like. More maybe, but not their bully business practice model. Yeah. It definitely has that feel to it, without a doubt, Edwin. Definitely has that feel to it. Let's see where. Just want to make sure I caught up with everybody's comments. I honestly did. It was an ordeal for sure, but it worked out the way it was supposed to, I guess. Yeah. Well, in the end, that's kind of how things work out, right? They work out the way things are supposed to work out, not always the way you want them to work out. Yeah. Come on. There we go. Crazy seat. Nice detail, though. All right, I'm going to plop the seat in, and then we're going to call it a session today, I think. There we go. So this is how far we've gotten into this thing. Maybe with luck, we'll actually have it done before I head back. If not, we'll be working on it this week when I'm back. All right, let's see what we got here. So to drive to Manhattan and do the closest museum instead, less risk of buying stuff. Not to go to the museum store. Which are higher the Pinkertons yet? Yeah, pretty close. Nice choice. Yeah. All right, my friends, time for me to head on out. So with that, guys, thanks for being on this morning. Really do appreciate it. Thank you for being up here with me in Maine. Be up here today and tomorrow, and then back tomorrow night. But in the meantime, Layers. Guys, go out there and do good. Brighten the world as much as you can. It's getting, I mean, I know I say it every day, but it is really getting sillier, crazier, nastier, dirtier, worse. Um, what? How's Maine? Gorgeous, gorgeous. This part of Maine is fabulous. This is in the central part of Maine, in Bethel. We said bagels. I may be hungry. I know I am. But guys, go out there and brighten the world. Make somebody's day better. Don't treat them like shit. Don't treat them poorly. Just treat people with kindness and respect. Just do good. With that, I'll be back on tomorrow morning, same time, same channel. Enjoy the day, guys. Have a beautiful day, and I will catch you on the flip. Peace.